G'day viewers, thanks for tuning in. My name is Karl from comfortablylost.com. Today I'm just making a quick video talking about if it's worth getting something like a Fiamma F65 awning for your motorhome, RV, camper van, whatever. So I guess I just wanted to give a little bit of background on our previous vans and why we chose to get an awning for our van, and our thoughts on the awning after we've had it for 2 years now on the van. So, a bit of backstory, our previous van was a Mitsubishi Delica, which was a four-wheel drive van, and we had just a standard roll-out four-wheel drive awning on that van. It was really awesome. We used it on average at least once a day, if not more, and the reason that was because inside the Delica there wasn't really any space. It was just the bed and some storage in our fridge, and that was it. And so the awning, we would always roll it out as soon as we were anywhere that was a little bit sunny or in the rain. We'd roll it out, we'd set it up, get the chairs out, and we'd have a little sheltered space. Now, our sort of mentality when we were designing this van was that we would also need an awning for the same reasons. So when we originally were thinking about it, we were like, well, we need to have an awning, we need to have the shade, and we need to have the shelter and the extra space. And in reality, what we found is that we've probably only used this awning 10 times, including today, setting it up. So why haven't we used this awning, considering it was fairly expensive and fairly took a lot of effort and time to install it? Why aren't we using it more? Now, the primary reason is that inside the van, this being a long wheelbase Sprinter, so inside the Sprinter it has a lot of space inside and it's sheltered from the elements. It's shady and it's cool, and there's seats inside and it's comfortable, and we've got the kitchen in there. And what we found is that because we're primarily in sort of mild climate areas where it's not hot and there's always forest and shade and somewhere to park out of the sun, we really haven't needed the awning very much, and we haven't really used it very much. It's usually just a lot easier for us just to pull up, park up and sit inside the van, and if we want to go outside we just go out and we go for a walk, rather than setting the awning up and taking the chairs out and sort of sitting outside. So there's been a bit of a shift in the way that we're using the van, because now we have a bigger van which has seating inside, out of the sun and out of the weather. The other reason that we don't really use the awning much is, as you can kind of see here flapping around the wind, the sides of the awning, unlike our previous four-wheel drive awning which actually had little arms along the edge where you would velcro strap it on, the sides of the awning material here are unsupported. So it's got the little mechanical arms that sort of fold out and push the awning out, which is really nice because it's really quick to wind it out and set it up, as I showed in the video at the start of this. But the downside is that it's not really very good for strong winds, so I'm always worried about it blowing away. Usually I'll have some sandbags and some pegs on the legs if I have it set up, but I rarely ever leave it. I've never left it set up overnight anywhere, because I'm always worried about the material being damaged or torn, because there's a few sort of points on the edges where I just can't see it holding up over time with a lot of wind sort of flapping around. The other reason as well that we don't really use it that much is because it can't really be put away wet. So if you set the awning up while it's raining to give you a little bit of shelter from the rain, if you put it away wet and you leave it wet, it can go mouldy and mildewy and kind of really disgusting and gross, and it's a whole big job to clean it. So for that reason, anytime it's even thinking about raining, we always keep it packed away. So I guess in hindsight, if I knew what I knew now and how little we'd actually use it, considering the awning cost about 1,500 Australian dollars for the awning plus the roof adapter kit for the Sprinter roof. If I'd known that, and also you have to glue the adapter kit onto the roof and you have to bolt it through the roof as well, and I'll see if I can find some photos from that process when we did, and I'll splice it into the video and show you. But it's a kind of a process to install the adapter kit and to install the awning. It's about 45, maybe 50 kilograms. I'd have to look it up, but it's pretty heavy and it's long. So it took the two of us together with a ladder on each side to actually lift it up and mount it on, and then we had to take it off again when we mounted our solar panels and put it back on again. So it was a bit of a job, whereas with like a four-wheel drive awning that's attached to like roof bars, we would just undo 4 bolts and slide it off, and I could do that on my own with a milk crate to stand on. So it was a lot easier to remove and install. So yeah, so think about that. if you're somewhere where you're frequently going out and it's very hot, there's no shade, and wind isn't such a big deal, or at least you can pack it away at night time, then an awning like this is possibly worth your time, effort and money. But if you're not, if you're mainly traveling in mild climates, I would probably rethink getting an expensive, really high-end awning like the Fiamma F65. It's probably not going to really give you much value out of it like we've found for ourselves. So the other alternatives, and this is something that we've sort of had in email conversations that we've seen on online forum discussions, the other alternatives to having a big permanently mounted sort of high-end awning like the Fiamma is something like putting sail tracks along the side, so you can actually run like a tarp or an awning along the side, and then you can remove it and just have it rolled up and put it inside. Or the other thing is just fastening on or riveting on mounting points on the side of the van, then you can have attachment points on the side of the van and string out a piece of tarp or something to give you a bit of shade as well. So if you're sort of usually in mild climates, but you're occasionally somewhere where it's hot and sunny like we were when we were at the Northern Territory, which is all the times that we used it, in the Northern Territory and up in the north end of Western Australia. So if you're travelling somewhere where it's hot, dry climates, but you're only a few times a year, then it might be worth doing something else rather than a big fixed expensive awning like this. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. So if you're in the same position as we were 2 years ago when we were thinking if it's worth getting the awning, and we sort of decided that it was, but as I said, in hindsight we probably wouldn't worry about it. If we were to build this van again, we wouldn't worry about a big fixed awning like this. So if you're in our position, it might maybe give you something to think about and give you a little bit of food for thought. So yeah, if there's any questions or comments or queries or anything that I've maybe not clarified or I've missed out, just leave it in the comments below and I'll answer you there, or if it's worth a video reply, I'll follow it up and do another video reply. And otherwise, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you shared it as well to any of your friends or groups that might be interested. So until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace out. See ya. P.S. How's the Serenity?